sales is about solving pain. It's not about selling your product. It's about solving pain. So once you do a survey, you know what those pains are, and then you can send them very relevant messaging around that. Yeah, my name's Michael Hanson. I'm based in the UK, in London. I'm from London. You can probably tell I'm British from my accent. And I'm the founder of Genie. We're an outbound sales consultancy. And I won't bore you too much about exactly what we do, as I'm sure we're going to be talking about it more in the interview. We're about a year old, which is scary because our first year a pandemic happened. But prior to setting up Genie, I worked for a company called CloudTask, who essentially do outsourced sales services, predominantly prospecting. I saw that there's a lot of companies who hire SDRs and they don't give them enough love and attention. And for me, there's like skill or will. If someone doesn't have skill, but they've got will, you can always train them because they're willing to put in the effort and they just need that support. So that's essentially what we do. We train internal outbound teams and set them up with better messaging that can improve their performance. I saw customers fail at CloudTask because they were outsourcing a problem rather than building a good process and then outsourcing it, and CloudTask could sit on top of that. So I was like, there's a big gap in the market for someone who can build repeatable, scalable outbound sales processes, including playbooks, coaching, etc. So that's essentially where we come in. And so essentially what we do, we have a 3-step process. The first step is that we analyze all messaging that's currently being done by companies. We say, send us your email template, send us your LinkedIn templates, send us your call recordings. Second step is we then build a playbook. We look at who's your ideal customer profile, what are their pains. People think they know the pains of their ideal customer profile, but typically they don't. So we help them go into more detail to outline specifically what those pains are and make them more human. And then from there, we help sales teams build what we call cadences, which is essentially the steps that go into outreach. So we have a 30-touch cadence, which is our most viral piece of content. And it's essentially combining LinkedIn, message, email, and phone to get qualified meetings with people. And then from there, it's just training and coaching. We train and coach internal sales teams. So that's pretty much what Genie does in a nutshell. Yeah, I think one of the challenges you're always going to face is scaling when you're a service business. I started just me as one consultant. We've now got 3 people. But how do I get people that understand sales like me? I need to hire people with experience because they're consulting for clients. So again, it's how can I get essentially an army of sales consultants that can do work for our clients? So I think how you get over it is just with really good training and onboarding. So even if I bring someone into the business, they're going to have their own style. So one, I need to be a servant leader and learn from the people that work for me. But also training and onboarding them in our business, because even if they're, the profiles we hire, they've run SDR teams for at least 3 or 4 years. But even if they've done that, their methodology may be slightly different to ours. So it's very important to have training and onboarding, and very important to have open communication and dialogue. And then you just essentially all grow together. Main thing is can I make payroll? Can we keep growing? And that's why I said scaling, right? Because you don't want to have to hire someone and then fire them 3 months later because you've lost a load of clients. So I think that's been a big topic, especially during COVID-19, because people are thinking, obviously I'm a small business with 3 people, but if I was a big business with 500 people, I'd be like, God, if we don't replace this business that we've lost, I'm going to have to fire people. And those are people that I like. Those are people that are families. So I think that's a big thing is essentially just keeping enough revenue in the company to make payroll. And I used to do one-day workshops. And what I found is that the teams that I work with love the one-day workshops, but then a month later, I would call the VP of sales and they're doing the exact same thing. So I thought I need to have longer-term relationships. So something I sometimes struggle with is that I'm teaching someone something and then the results aren't instant, but that's not how sales works. It takes time. So that's why typically we work with companies for anywhere from 3 months to a year or 2 years. So that's a doubt sometimes you have, we're not seeing the results. But often if you keep working at it, keep doing it, especially when it comes to training, those little reinforcements, that's when you can see the results. So I think, yeah, sometimes you have those insecurities, but if you keep doing the work and stay patient, you'll get the results. Use surveys for sales. So one of the reasons I say this is because when you're a salesperson, if you're doing outbounds, you're targeting someone you've never spoken to before. You don't know what their pains or challenges are. LinkedIn is a great poll feature now, which I recommend to do this. And then I saw that someone that filled out the survey was a head of marketing who ran a big SDR team. Company was about 200 people, software companies, so fit our ideal customer profile well. And then from that, you know what their pains are. And sales is about solving pains. It's not about selling your product. It's about solving pains. So once you do a survey, you know what those pains are, and then you can send them very relevant messaging around that. So I sent her a message saying, notice relevant messaging is an issue for you. Would you like me to share a couple of guides with you? One's about writing good messaging for LinkedIn, and one's about writing good sales email. She said, yeah, sure, that would be great. I sent it over. She replied, and then I cold called her. We had a conversation. 6 months later, she became a customer. So I think use surveys in sales and marketing. Don't just use them in customer success and support. I think the more humble that you become, the better an entrepreneur becomes, because the more you'll essentially want to listen. And I think if I look back at moments in my career, I thought that I knew things. But the thing is, things are evolving all the time, right? So I'm constantly learning about sales. I'm never going to tell or say that I'm a sales expert or guru. I'm just another salesperson. And that's why, even though we get inbound leads, I still like to do outbound and be a proper salesperson so that I can continue learning. And I still follow content on LinkedIn, listen to sales materials, like you're putting out great content. I watch all this content. Just take the leap. I think you can do it as a side hustle as well. I kind of had clients when I started my business already, but had a couple of people approach me when I was at CloudTask, and they're actually trying to recruit me. And I said, look, I'm not interested in a full-time job, but I'll do some consulting. It went very well. And I thought, why don't I just make this into my own business? That's essentially how I started it. So a couple of things. One is just do it. Don't have fear, just essentially do it. And if you're worried from a financial perspective because you don't have funding, maybe you can keep your current job and then you can do it on the side, right? You can do it on weekends, you can do it after work. So with the internet now, I think there's never been a better time to start a business, because you can literally reach people anywhere in the world, and we're all connected through this thing called the internet. So essentially we're kind of in a golden age of business. So I think just take the leap of faith. If you're a product company, right, build a minimum viable product and then just get it out there and serve it. Don't charge for it, get it out there, give it to people and see, do they use it? And then call them all the time, get feedback on it, and then essentially edit it and just keep making it better and better. And then eventually you'll have happy customers and you'll be able to charge for it. And then for a service business like myself, again, just maybe offer some free services to companies, see if you're getting results. And then from there, you can start charging for it. And maybe that first customer who is free, they'll do a case study for you, and you can use that to go and get new business. So everything starts somewhere. Subconsciously, you're okay, I don't trust that company because they're not professional. So I think a lot of branding and design, it's very subconscious. But the subconscious is hugely important, and it's not something that businesses pay attention to enough. If you have very good branding that represents your company, you have very good design, then subconsciously you're sending a message to your customers or prospective customers that you're a professional company. So yeah, branding is super important. Thank you, viewers, for watching FounderX series by Designhill. It's been a pleasure. If anyone wants to get in contact with me, there's 3 ways I recommend to do it. So go to our website, which is growthgenie.co, not .com. A lot of people make that mistake, so it's just .co. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. So if you search Michael Hanson Growth Genie, I should come up. And then I also recommend following us on YouTube. We've got a Growth Genie YouTube channel. So yeah, feel free to connect with me on any of those platforms.